Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio finally faced off, so we'll see everything that's happening around them. We'll also take a look at what's happening with LA Knight and much more. Let's start things off with Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio. After months and months of refusing to do anything to Dominik Mysterio, Rey Mysterio finally snapped and put his hands on Dominik. It's been a busy few weeks for Rey Mysterio. From getting inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, facing Dominik at WrestleMania, and his other big accomplishment of bringing back the LWO, the Latino World Order. The Latino World Order was an iconic wrestling faction that was first led by Eddie Guerrero in the late 1990s. There's been little mini revivals of the faction throughout the years, but it looks like the group has finally officially revived and will now be led by Rey Mysterio. Ever since Rey Mysterio has been having a problem with the Judgment Day, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, and the rest of Legado del Fantasma have been coming to the aid of Rey Mysterio. Escobar and his faction originally debuted as heels on Smackdown a few months back, but they quickly turned babyface by the way of assisting Rey Mysterio against Dominik and the Judgment Day. So, due to all their non-stop support and assistance to Rey Mysterio, Rey decided to make them all members of the Latino World Order during the March 31st edition of SmackDown. It was quite the exciting moment to see a 25-year-old faction make its return to WWE television. So everyone was extremely hyped when Rey Mysterio gave them the LWO shirts and officially brought back the group. Fans have been curious about how will the LWO work going forward. Was that a special one-night thing of Rey Mysterio making them honorary members of LWO? Or is this group legitimately back and will be going forward as the Latino World Order? That's what fans are a little curious about. There was a backstage WrestleMania moment that WWE posted of Zelina Vega giving music sensation Becky G an LWO shirt as well. So maybe that's even a good small sign right there that LWO will be an actual faction going forward on WWE television. But let's get back to Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio. As expected, Dominik did pull off a little stunt during the Hall of Fame ceremony. Dominik, Rhea, and Damian Priest were all having a great time at the Hall of Fame ceremony. But the second Rey Mysterio comes out, all of the Judgment Day members get up from their seats and walk out of the arena. Just a massively disrespectful gesture. But it was of course done to keep the active storyline going between Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio. And then we get to WrestleMania. Dominik had a special entrance of coming straight from prison and getting a police escort into SoFi Stadium. And it was one of the very few times that Dominik Mysterio came out with one of Rey Mysterio's lucha masks. We've never really got a good look of Dominik Mysterio wearing one of Rey's masks until this entrance. And the fans were actually really digging the look. Everyone pointed out how Dominik looked exactly like his father in the mask, and how the mask perfectly suits him. Some fans even initially wondered if Dominik would wrestle the entire match in the mask. But the idea was quickly shot down once Dominik took the mask off during his entrance. And like Michael Cole pointed out, Dominik wearing his mask during the entrance wasn't meant to pay homage to Mysterio family or lucha wrestling. It was actually meant to be a disrespectful gesture, because in the lucha wrestling culture, the mask has to be earned and given to in order for you to wear it. And obviously, Dominik has done nothing in the last few months that would make him worthy of wearing the family mask. All Dominik has done is disrespect his father and the Mysterio name. So it's clear as day that Dominik hasn't done anything to deserve the honor of wearing that mask. So that's what that was all about. Dominik can't decide to just start wearing the mask. That's not really how the tradition works. If the plan is for Dominik to wear a mask one day, something has to happen where Rey Mysterio will pass the mask down to him. That's really the only way for Dominik to get the rights of competing with the mask. However, judging by the current storyline and rivalry, It's kind of hard to picture right now a world where Dominik Mysterio earns a mask from Rey. But maybe that's a moment. That's a few years away. But getting back to their match, the Judgment Day comes out to ringside to try to intimidate Rey Mysterio. But out comes the LWO to even out the odds, and Rey ends up picking up the win over Dominik. So Rey Mysterio finally gets his revenge on Dominik Mysterio and gets the victory. Now it'll be interesting to see the different directions that Rey and Dominik both go in. It's being reported over the last few days that WWE is allegedly very high on Dominik Mysterio, and how big plans are currently being put in place for him. One of those big plans could possibly be doing something between Dominik and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny even got involved in the finish of the WrestleMania match by grabbing a steel chair out of Dominik's hands and preventing him from cheating to beat Rey. So, considering that Bad Bunny basically cost Dominik the match, and how Bad Bunny will be hosting the next WWE premium event, Backlash, it does sound like they can possibly be setting something up there between Dominik Mysterio and Bad Bunny. Maybe it's an actual match at Backlash, or maybe it's just a little run-in together at Backlash. But that definitely seems possible, taking the closing moments of that match into consideration. As far as things go with Rey Mysterio, he recently said that despite the Hall of Fame induction and the dream match of facing his son at WrestleMania, he doesn't have plans to retire soon. Rey Mysterio will be 49 in December 2023, and he revealed in a recent interview that age 50 is the goal for him, and then he'll possibly consider retirement. So that leaves us with possibly right around a year and a half of ring time left for Rey Mysterio. Maybe Rey's new role will be leading the LWO, and that'll be great to see. Rey can be the main shot caller for LWO and really help to establish these new stars in the faction before he decides to hang up his boots for good. So it's looking like big things are still ahead for Rey and Dominik Mysterio. So keep your eyes out for all kind of developments there. Speaking of big things, it looks like big things could also be on the way for LA Knight. LA Knight had to struggle during his first few months on the main roster as Max Dupree, a male model agency character, but once Vince McMahon was gone, he started transitioning back into LA Knight and took off. He had a first major feud with Bray Wyatt. A lot of fans were critical of that feud, but LA Knight didn't lose momentum and has been gaining more of it every week. It was extremely noticeable during the March 31st edition of Smackdown, where LA Knight was the clear favorite of the live crowd to win the match. They were strongly behind him and extremely upset when he was eliminated. So, seeing the reception for LA Knight grow every week is having fans talking about how WWE may have to pull the trigger on LA Knight and do something big with him in the near future. Lots of fans are already locking in LA Knight as their potential 2023 Money in the Bank contract winner. So, his situation will be interesting to closely monitor. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.